What up, Aries? This is going to be your personal, in a general sense, reading for your season. So this is your TLC reading, Aries. Hope you guys are doing all right. Quick shameless plug: if you guys are ever interested in having a personal session with me, please do not hesitate to visit choseneyes.com in order to purchase your personal tarot reading and or medium session or anything else that you're looking for. But let's go ahead and get this show on the road for you guys. I hadn't shuffled anything. This is actually my first time reading at my kitchen table, so I apologize if you see things in the background, but I keeps it real. I got a 6-year-old. He's active, busy, creative, and likes to have stuff all over my floor. So, and I have a husband, so anybody who's married understands that when you live in a home and it's lived in, there's stuff that goes on, like stuff on the floor and stuff on your kitchen table. So, if it's a distraction, I do apologize, but that's real. All right, Aries, let's get this show on the road. All right, Aries. I got some good stuff cooking up. And Aries, just to let you know, this is for the year. This is not just for the month of April. Okay, so this is your TLC reading, so you guys can kind of know what to look out for the next year. But I also hear maybe two, like next 18 months or so for y'all. All right, now, Aries, I feel like you all have been waiting for things to go according to plan. Right? But nothing seems to do so, right? And I think 2016 was that year where you were just like, WTF. Like every moment, every time that, every moment that you felt like things were going according to plan. Like, I planned this out, I was strategic, I was methodical, and it's starting to, unfold. What you planned and thought out and accounted for went completely left field. Or the opposite direction, and you're just like, what the fuck? I just keep seeing you all stopping and like screaming at the top of your lungs, what the fuck? So, that was last year. Okay, the good news is that this year, I don't see any of that. Okay, what I do see though is you in your own head here with the 8 of Swords. I see you being afraid, and next to the Queen of Cups, I feel you being a little bit too afraid that history is going to repeat itself, okay? And it's not. Okay, it truly is not, okay? You got the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Cups in reverse down here next to the 7 of Pentacles. It's like those things that you were you thought they were improvements last year, but they really weren't improvements. It was just more of the same disguised in different clothing. Okay, it's like it was semantics. I keep hearing they just use semantics to try to change up their usual thing. Okay, for some of y'all, I keep hearing loud and clear, stop looking and choosing a job over you. And I think that means not only just in terms of like you putting your job first and being a workaholic. I think that also means like, what is your soul calling you to do? Like really, in this moment, what is your soul calling you to do? And that's what you need to be focusing on. That's what you need to be doing. Now, if you can somehow incorporate that and infuse that into what it is that you're doing, for, money right now, go ahead and do that. Just just understand and know that whatever you do from here on out, you have to be very strategic because it has to be in line with what your soul is telling you that you need to do. Okay. You can expect changes, but I think they're going to be slow and systematic changes. Okay, don't expect things to be quick, overnight, fly by night kind of things. Okay, get out of your own head. The perception of something being wrong really is you. Now I will tell you this though: in the moments where your intuition is telling you this shit ain't right, that's different. And what do I mean by that? Some people are like, well, you just said that it's in my head. No. When you have those overwhelming urges of like that feeling of panic or anxiety, right? Those are the moments where I'm just like, yo, it's probably just you like worrying and trying to account for everything that you didn't account for last year. All right? But in those moments, and y'all know what I mean, because Aries are very perceptive about something being afoot. Y'all sit there and be like, something ain't right, something hams, and I'm gonna sit right here until it makes sense. Trust that part of you, okay, Aries? Because y'all are strong, y'all are willful, y'all are dynamic, y'all push through damn near anything. I was raised by one of y'all, okay? My mother's an Aries. But y'all also don't know when to back down sometimes. What I'm telling you to do is trust that part of you intuitively that says something ain't right and back down until you know what's not right. Okay? I feel like you're about to be working in magic. I also feel like some Aries are going to be getting into new relationships this year. The prospect of that is truly there. Okay? Don't discredit it. Don't put it on the back burner either. I see where you're being less tyrannical with yourself and with others. Less tyrannical. I like that. Because y'all rule with an iron fist, man. Alright? The other side of it too, I feel like you're being a little less rigid as it pertains to like your planning process. Like I said, you all are really methodical and you crack a whip on like when you're in your own head with this checklist of stuff to do, right? Instead of having a huge checklist worth of like full of goals that you're anticipating to have, completed within a very unrealistic amount of time, I think that this year will be a good time for you to learn how to create a loose outline or a loose rubric and let things fall into place. Have like a 5-point plan or a 7-point plan for yourself. And then from those plans, or for those, bullet points, should you have, subset A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, that fall in and create this outline, that's beautiful. But I feel like you need to expect the unexpected as it pertains to things that work out beautifully for you this year. Okay? Because I feel like the things that you're accounting for are great. Just understand that there are going to be aspects that kind of come in that you weren't really thinking about that actually will enhance you in a better way. Six of Pentacles. I wouldn't make any health regime plans for this year. I wouldn't even health in every sense. Like if you're wanting to start a new diet or a new financial regime, like any type of regime, don't do that this year. Don't do that. See where things take you, but be responsible. Okay, I'm not saying just go out and binge. Be responsible. I feel like you need to get 2 or 3 more cards. Oh yeah, 2 of Cups. Listen, as it pertains to love and relationships not just being erotic, I mean like even platonic. I feel like a lot of the old stress that you had in the past when it came to even certain people that from your past, don't let that get to you. I feel like the worry or the fear that something's not right within those relationships, either they will rectify themselves or you don't need to worry about that, okay? If it was cheating, like if you had like a cheating spouse or significant other, I feel like that person kind of sees the error of their ways. 1, they met your wrath, okay? 2, I just see error of their ways. I keep hearing they've realized the error of their ways. You're probably going to be hearing about that too. So there's a huge reconciliation here, okay? If you're not in a relationship or you don't have anything going on like that when it comes to like friendships, believe it or not, I feel like this is reconciliation within yourself. You beginning to believe and trust you again. Not just trust in you, but trust you. Sometimes we as people have a tendency to put our trust in someone else before we trust ourselves in terms of making decisions or knowing what the right thing for us to do is. I feel like this is you getting back in tune with you and realizing that I know what I'm doing. I'm in the driver's seat. And it's okay for me to let go in that regard, okay? So you've got Justice and act rather than wait. Now, I know I told you to sit back and wait until you figure out whether or not what hands. I still maintain that. But I do feel that this is a year for you to be bold and take some calculated risk. I keep hearing loud and clear for your career. Aries, look, y'all are like really good entrepreneurs. Like y'all are really good with startup. Like I keep hearing like there's some startup gurus amongst y'all. And some of y'all really been thinking about doing like your own startup business. If it's something that you want to start up and then hand off, pass the torch to someone else because you feel like, the sustenance of said entity is, more difficult than just starting it up, by all means do that. But there's something that you all need to be starting up, and it needs to be it needs to have an element of creativity, but it also needs to have some element of, I don't want to say logic, organized chaos. It's like looking at an oil painting, right? That's like an abstract oil painting, right? Like there's definite like boundaries. There's definitely a border, or a start, middle, and end, but it's left to interpretation. You know what I mean? And everybody's able to take what they want from that type of situation. How do you put that in terms of business, right? Whatever services you're going to be rendering or whatever you're going to be creating here, I feel like there's something for everyone to get out of it. But the way in which you're presenting it has a simple twist that is quintessentially you. It could be, I'm going to throw somebody under the bus that I know. It could be Juanita's Cupcakes, right? But the cupcakes are catered to the goth community or the voodoo community. You know what I mean? And so all the cupcakes, may have, the different little wild things, all like that. It's a cupcake company, something basic and simple. Everybody can get something out of it, right? They want to. But there's still that creative element, Or it could be Danny's limo service, right? But the limo service itself, is known for only serving fresh drinks, or smoothies or fresh pressed juices, and that way while you're in your limo ride, you feel like you're, having a spa moment, something creative like that. But this is the time for you to at the very least write it down, even if you don't have the startup capital for it. Okay, don't wait. There's no time like the present, and I feel like last year taught you that. I feel like last year taught you that everything that you were holding on to and trying to wait and savor until the perfect moment, it was like, almost like I keep hearing disaster strikes. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh shit, maybe tomorrow is not promised. Maybe I need to get off my butt and start doing stuff and stop working for other people, or stop driving myself into the ground for things that don't matter to me. Let's see. Yeah. The only other thing I could tell you, my loves, is in this year, as it pertains to your health consciousness, breathe and take a few breaks every now and then. You're going to need to learn how to let shit go and leave other people's shit alone. Choose you this year, Aries. Choose you. Y'all are always choosing and believing in someone else and pushing them forward and getting their dreams going. Choose you. Choose you. And I think you would be surprised at how quickly you take off. You're so used to seeing everybody else skyrocket because of your good juju. This year, let's see where you put yourself. I'm really excited for y'all because I think this is going to be the year of Aries, like real talk. I know it may be the age of Aquarius, but I think this is going to be the year of Aries. Y'all onto some good, bold, dynamic stuff. Trust yourself. Trust those around you because you do have a good sense of judgment, okay? Just know that at the end of the day, though, if you feel like something is off, trust it and move on. Okay? Hope that this resonated with you all, my lovelies. Take good care of yourselves. And as usual, keep your gazes forward. Love and kisses. Mwah!